Here is Lauri Ayansiu, who was the speaker in previous conference, and so he celebrates 10 years of working on his product, and he is owning the brand of this product, and also he has been recognized like a top first contributor in Finland. And um, we have also Linus Torvalds, who is from the same area of world, but Lauri is the top one. So let him start to speak. Please, Lauri, your stage.
Thank you. Okay, I try to show my slides. First, I try to share screen. And then I try to show slides. Okay. So this is 10 years of WeKan for Kanban, and I'm the maintainer of WeKan. And there has been a lot of changes since previous talk, but what is WeKan 10? So before, when I started maintaining WeKan for about 10 years ago, before WeKan version 0.20, numbers was whatever, so I started every release version number starting adding 0.01, and this version 10 is 1,000 releases of WeKan, and that means there have been new release of WeKan every third day for 10 years, and now we also have newest dependencies and part year of 10 year. And what happened in 10 years? I started at December 2016, so 2017 was just for fun, like Linus Torvalds, but at next year, someone asked for bounties or commercial support or some way to pay some money, so I added commercial support. And from 2019 to 2025, about 4 million lines of code changes of adding and removing of WeKan. And this year, WeKan was upgraded to Meteor 3, and it is WeKan is now translated to all about 156 languages with help of AI that did take into account existing translations and general Kanban words, how they are translated. And also now we are back at Sandstone platform and at Snap Stable platform. There has been some years before previous version of newest WeKan, but we are now at those platforms with newest version. So WeKan now is at Meteor 3, and who stands to Harry Adel that helped with that migration, because previously WeKan was at Meteor 2, and the Meteor framework did originally have fibers using, but for real time, like changing moving cards, so that everyone sees those changes. But then Node.js added async await, and it needed adding to Meteor web framework to many places async await, and Harry Adel helped WeKan and updated those dependencies, so there has been many version updates. Also, for the WeKan standard for public code, the goal was to replace uh, MongoDB SSPL license server with server that is free software. So now it is replaced with FerretDB that translates, that is full replacement for MongoDB Server 7. So it translates MongoDB SQLite queries to MongoDB JavaScript queries to FerretDB SQLite SQL queries. And also snap stable upgrade from WeKan 6.04 to WeKan 10 happened 2 days ago. So it upgraded about 15,500 snap servers from MongoDB to FerretDB. And there is also that FerretDB server fork where I have added many features and fixes at this address. And there has been many features to WeKan, so it is possible to import from Trello, Jira, Kanban, Nextcloud Deck, and many others to WeKan. And there is also export card to Excel with images. So it is possible to select what to export from card. Also there is Gantt chart, so all card dates from boards are visible with this style of Gantt chart. Of course, this is not yet the traditional Gantt chart where it is possible to drag drop, but this is my special version of the same thing. There has also been accessibility fixes and enabling accessibility page that is required by law. And there is at Altpart page there is now workspaces feature. So first boards are at remaining boards when they have not been dragged to any workspace yet. So it is possible to add more workspaces and sub workspaces and drag those from remaining to some workspace. And if some board is starred, then it is shown first time when going to old boards page because those starred are visible when first going to old board page. And there is also at admin panel browse for bot protection settings and unlocking at admin panel. And what is not next? There will be no help to downgrade from old vulnerable WeKan to old version of WeKan because WeKan takes security seriously. All known security issues have been fixed already. And there will be no old WeKan 6.09 UI back because new WeKan looks ugly. That was usually the comment. So show screenshot with arrows where it is ugly. I have now fixed all of those that were at the first screenshots. So let's fix the ugliness. And what is actually next? The WeKan will be back to more platforms and add new platforms, and there will more UI fixes because WeKan also takes UI seriously. And at GitHub issues, previously was about 700 issues, and now it is about 300. And more will be fixed and closed as soon as possible. And there also will be more party of 10 years of WeKan. And at the summer will be for me, Walkin, sunshine, ice cream, and strawberries. And about funding and sponsors, I moved to new rent apartment. So I'm talking to from this new rent apartment now. I also moved 1 year ago because rent price increased too much. There is still debt from previous year moving that is not paid yet. If some customer can pay for yearly support, please contact. Yearly support does not renew automatically. Most paid features have been already added. More will be added soon. And help welcome also how to apply for FOSS funding. and please contact wekan.fi/commercial support. And WeKan Kanban with MIT license website is at wekan.fi, and all code is at github.com/wekan/wekan. And first feature request and bugs can be added to github.com/wekan/wekan/issues, and pull request can go to github.com/wekan/wekan/pulls. And WeKan app is at wekan.fi/app, so there is mobile app for Play Store and also desktop app for Windows, desktop Windows Store, and there is also Ubuntu Touch app, mobile app for Ubuntu Touch Open Store, and those all are using web browser at each platform, so it is full screen browser for web address. And also it is possible to make iOS an icon, and there is info how to make that, but it also uses web browser. But the experience with PWA is the same, because from icon it starts full screen web browser. And WeKan private paid worldwide commercial support, like support and features and fixes and hosting, it's at wekan.fi. Of course, that is optional. Every feature is free. All code is open source and free software fully. And also it is possible to email that paid support, because with paid support it does not need to be public like GitHub issues. And if someone uses IRC, there is a libera/wekan. And that's it. Thanks. And now, any questions?
Thank you, Lauri. So let me ask you the first question. Could you please tell me about your changes in SQLite? So what are you doing with SQLite? Because I know you're doing some magic.
Yes. So actually, so the Ferret DB is made with Go programming language. So the Ferret DB is the magic, and I have not changed the SQLite source code. I have changed Ferret DB. So it is like a proxy server. So when there is WeKan and Node.js MongoDB driver, then it uses MongoDB wire protocol. But then at the Ferret DB, that is server programmed with Go programming language, it converts all those queries from JavaScript to SQL. But of course, to work with WeKan, I have been added features. So for example, more JavaScript queries, like LMatch and others that are in JavaScript, that WeKan uses, Sandstorm uses, and others. Also, there has been performance improvements, because there has been timeouts, or it is too slow or something. So those have been, many of those have been added, and there is also complete test suite for both Ferret DB and WeKan. So WeKan has now over 800 tests, and Ferret DB also has test suite to test everything. Also, currently I'm working to add even more fixes and tests and so on. And there will be in the WeKan new release that I'm releasing today, new admin panel page that is problems, so that shows in red if there are any problems.
Thank you for your answer. As about Meteor, could you please tell So once you decided to drop Meteor use, and now I hear that you actually accomplished using new Meteor version. Could you please tell about the challenge in more detail?
So originally, WeKan was not developed by me. So 10 years ago, WeKan did already exist when Maxime Guendalle, a young man from France, had already developed WeKan, and there was drag drop of cards and so on. And originally, Maxime Guendalle developed WeKan because Meteor is real-time web framework. It can show updates immediately to all users. It is real-time, similar like Trello, and because I was originally importing those boards from Trello to WeKan, I wanted to continue my time in WeKan because original creator did not alt pull requests to WeKan for 2 weeks because he was rewriting WeKan. But now that I was at the same situation with Meteor 2, so I was rewriting WeKan using free Pascal and SQLite. But then Harry Adele contacted me privately at chat that he could help with upgrading to Meteor 3. So then at WeKan changelog is links to those Harry Adele blogs where he describes how many big changes he made to upgrade WeKan. So because Meteor had made big work developing for 3 years for the big upgrade to from Node.js 14 to newest Node.js that is now 24. So with that upgrade process, there was many dependencies removed, all the dependencies that did not anymore needed, and also upgrade everything. And of course, jumping from Node.js 14 to 24 means that there are very many security fixes and performance improvements, and also modernizing also Meteor. So it is the latest cutting edge best framework that is currently, so it is worth upgrading for. Also, what was the big improvement with Meteor 3 that I was able to add admin panel attachments where it improved all the attachments from MongoDB database to file system. So there is migrations options, and also it is possible to use as file storage also cloud storage like anything S3 compatible or Azure Blob Storage or Google Cloud. But anyway, moving currently, because there is free version of WeKan that is at boards.wekan.team, which is web browser, and all of those use and those mobile applications use the same address. So when I moved about 24 gigabytes of files from MongoDB database to file system, then the site and then compacted the MongoDB database to smaller, then MongoDB database is only about 1 or 2 gigabyte size, and files are at disk. So that actually means that when previously it was load to show attachments at board, now those attachments load immediately. So at that currently all those WeKan root at one server where is those all free users of the app. So it is about 40,000 users at same server. That server is running at Hesner at Finland, so it is about 64 gigabytes of RAM memory and about 1 terabyte of disk storage with RAID. So it is very fast because the MongoDB caches a lot to the RAM and also file system. So there is not any performance problems or slowness anymore. All this is the newest technology.
Quite impressive, Lauri. So I've using CryptPad recently, and also Nextcloud and some other products, and even GitHub. All they have some Kanban features. So do you feel some competition right now growing or not?
No, the other software, Kanban software does not have all the features of WeKan.
Would you please
and also I would add about the GitHub and others. So I have added to WeKan a way to migrate all the content from GitHub to, for example, GitLab and Codeberg. So there will be also the same content and same build process. Currently, at GitHub, when I make new release, I only change the version number to newer, and after that, the GitHub Actions builds installer packages to releases on every platform. So it saves a lot of time. So that it actually means that when some new security issue comes, then it is fixed immediately and release it. So it builds for all platforms.
What about your list of pull requests or list of features that you need to develop? How is the progress? Once you told that there are some hundreds of some features requested.
Yes, so previously there was about 700 open issues, so now it's about 300. And because there is Anthropic that donated Cloud Max for open source, then it also means that it improves the speed of development. Because, for example, if I would have needed to find translators for every possible language and then all translate thousands of text strings to every possible language, that would have costed a lot or practically be impossible. But now every translation is translated to 154 languages. And practically the AI does the work of many years of backlog. So that makes possible to have much progress, like years of progress, very fast.
Okay, thank you. Question a bit out of this topic. How is your nerd club? Is it running still?
Actually, no, because first when I did lead the nerd club for many years, then I did teach many people how to use computers and install Linux to many computers, like for example PC and Mac computers and Chromebooks and so on, usually Linux Mint because it is very usable. But when the rent price kept growing so much, so I had to find a cheaper place to have very cheaper rent so that I can really pay it. and then first it was planned that that was at previous year. First it was planned that I have NerdTube here, but the people decided about it. Did decide that that it is not. They will not fund with a smaller city that kind of work. And also, where I moved, there was already existing kind of nerd club and helping with computers. So I did not. That was already free. So I was not competing with that. And also, I have now moved to different small city, and I have been busy with WeKan, but for everyone that I know, they also, I can help them remotely. There is a remote desktop support software similar like TeamViewer with name RustDesk, and I have installed RustDesk server to my server because they require it for longer uses, and with it I can remotely help people also. So it is not necessary always to travel, but of course there is not yet kind of group meeting help, but it will be seen when it is possible and where.
Okay, interesting. So in one of our conversations, you're told that Microsoft is who? Devil, evil, or part of Microsoft is evil. Could you please tell a bit more about this? Why?
Uh, uh, so there are many parts of Microsoft. Others are very good because they release open source, they fund the GitHub, and there is a lot of good. But they made the decision to discontinue using Microsoft Office old version. They, that way that it is not possible to use at all. And that kind of it is kind of an current trend. Like they want to disable using any old software, or in general companies remove access to something that has been paid before. This trend is called certification, and so first you like to buy something and they take it away.
Okay, if we get back to WeKan, so what happened to WeKan Beam, or how we called it, a prototype that you developed?
So there are many prototypes of WeKan, but because I have been trying to rewrite WeKan for many years, but because WeKan was at Meteor 2 and I was stuck, so I did those prototypes. But because Harry Adele helped to upgrade to Meteor 3, then I'm testing currently what are the limits of Meteor 3, how far can it go, and and because it works, it has all the features, then currently I'm going that way.
Okay, what about some kind of crypto product we started to work on? Are you still think WeKan can be used in such applications like crypto?
Do you mean encryption, similar like at other products, so there would be storage would be encrypted?
No, I mean, if we remember that NGI hackathon where we met, so you proposed some kind of like purchasing engine which can use WeKan for um,
Yes,
product
so
amount.
I was at hackathon where the point was to use some kind of virtual currency like Ethereum or Bitcoin or something, I made a prototype where it's kind of a shop. So when some product is at one card, at one list, and there is the and selected from there, and it is bought and so drag it to the shopping cart or buy list. So drag it to different list, then it uses code like outgoing webhook to do that transaction on the Ethereum, so it really buys that product. So I was at that competition, and if I remember correctly, I was third prize. I won the. So I have not been at that project yet. There has been some other projects related to Ethereum or other virtual currency, but currently I'm not at those projects. But WeKan is already integrated to many platforms worldwide, and those usually want to upgrade to newest and WeKan has all the features.
Okay, thank you. And one more quite interesting question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So, you advised SQLite, and I decided to use SQLite in some of my products. And I faced some interesting things. So SQLite is quite primitive technology that use just primitive file and single thread read, write. So in order to make it work for some big application, we need to implement all the things that usual database management systems do, like simultaneous read, some buffers, some cache, and so memory cache, then some workers who write into file separately, and so on and so forth. So could you tell me, please, are you doing all this, or you are using something ready, or have you faced such things?
Sure, there needs to be something implemented, but the people that originally developed FerretDB version 1 already did most of that work. So the problem with MongoDB is that there is pre-built binaries only for AMD 64 and ARM 64. So for other platforms and CPUs, there is no binaries, but it is easy to cross-compile FerretDB because it is used the Go language port of SQLite. And that's actually it.
So FerretDB is something above SQLite, right or not?
Yes, so FerretDB converts MongoDB, it implements MongoDB server completely. So it implements MongoDB server protocol. So if there is existing applications like WeKan that has MongoDB Node.js driver, or it could be any application that already knows how to work with MongoDB version 7. Then there is same Mongo URL, same JavaScript queries, and all the same features, but I added additional features so that works with WeKan, and it is made with Go programming language, and then it uses local SQLite database where it saves the data.
Okay, and before we finalize the meeting with you, Could you please answer one more interesting question? So you often told about using SQLite for sessions, like it's more secure and we should use it because it stores everything not on a browser and so on and so forth. So when I started to use this, I faced the same issue that it's single threaded, it's slow, and when we develop big application, it not make everything work quicker. Or I'm wrong here. Could you please comment?
Um, Originally, SQLite was developed for the purpose that there was some business application where that did lose connection to database where it connected via network. So when it was changed to use a local database, then there is no network issues and it does not go down because it is using it directly at disk. And SQLite is most used database in the world. It is running at smartphones and every possible device, and it has very big test suite. But of course, there are rewrites of SQLites that could be sometime better when they are finished, because everything is being rewritten in Rust, as you know. So rewritten in Rust is, for example, SQLite and PostgreSQL and BAN, and everything wants to just rewrite in Rust. But anyway, it is enough to use SQLite because it uses much less RAM memory than MongoDB. So it is very nice to use at Raspberry Pi and others.
Okay, thank you very much. And maybe you can make one more advice about streaming servers. For example, on your point of view, what characteristics streaming server should have that would not slow down and don't lag in any moment, and video would be smooth and audio also, because you use quite a small server like 64 gigabytes and 1 terabyte. It's not a mainframe, and still you're satisfied by this. So what should be done to make server work fast?
Yes, so nowadays there is servers that have NVMe disk, and that is much faster than SSD disk. That is much faster than traditional HDD disk. So, and then also when attachments are moved from MongoDB database to file system, it is much faster than from MongoDB database. So it is kind of everything is software optimization problem. So and the 64 gigabytes is actually quite a lot, because not all software use that much RAM. Of course, MongoDB can use as cache a lot, but anyway, it is not using yet all the full RAM memory when everything is running at the server. And also currently that 64 gigabytes of RAM uses one MongoDB server. So I have made a production setup where each user has like what has different domains. Each user they do have different WeKan containers per domain and subdomain. So for free users, or customer or others, but they have different username and password to database, and they can access only their own database, and it is one MongoDB server. But anyway, I kind of lost of track. Did I answer something?
Okay, it's outstanding. So we are up in time, and I'm happy that we had this discussion. I hope every enjoyed or get something useful for their practice. I wish we could speak even more because we have a lot of interesting topics here, and as soon as topic is described, some new topics arise. So we would have more conversations, and I wish you good luck for now, and see you next time. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Happy to meet